Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jeff at lockdownsecurity.ca, www.lockdownsecurity.ca. And today's video is a little bit more of a detailed video. This is going to be something that doesn't apply to everybody, but what is it about? It's about manual transmission remote starters, specifically two of the most popular that we carry, the Fortin evo-one and the CompuStar CMX. Both of these remote starters are compatible with manual transmission vehicles. And both of them offer a couple of different ways for activating the manual transmission mode safety sequence. Now, that's the main purpose of today's videos. We had a customer reach out to us who didn't understand the different ins and outs of the manual transmission mode safety sequence and what it was all about. So today's video is to compare both modes on both systems and try and explain what the difference is between both of them and why you need to enter a safety mode when you're using one of these products on a manual transmission vehicle. So I'm going to start with the CompuStar CMX HC. This is a very popular remote start controller. It's directly made by CompuStar. It can be configured as both a remote start, a car alarm with remote start, or a car alarm. For the purposes of this video, we can assume that we would be installing it as a remote starter or a car alarm with remote start on a manual transmission vehicle. And what I want to do is go through a couple of the things that you need to do when you're hooking up a CMX on a manual transmission vehicle. So here I have got the option table in front of me. This is the master install guide for the CMX. And I want to cover off a few things first and foremost. So when it comes to wiring, the difference between an automatic transmission remote start install and a manual transmission remote start install is a few different circuits that you need to accommodate and connect. On the CMX, you're going to need to have your emergency brake, your e-brake connection, so that it can monitor the parking brake, whether it's on or off. You're also going to need to have clutch bypass more than likely done. Most newer vehicles, anything newer than about 2000, do require the clutch to be pressed in order to activate the starter motor. So you have to essentially get around that and bypass the clutch safety switch. Not really bypass it. What you've got to do is you've got to mimic electrically the signal that the clutch is going to be sending to the vehicle in order for the vehicle to be able to crank the starter motor. And with CompuStar, there is another extra circuit. Actually, I forgot, you need to have tachometer input connected. That's mandatory. That's mandatory regardless of whether you're using Fortin or CompuStar, although Fortin's tachometer input is driven by data. But with the CompuStar CMX, what you also need to have connected is the FTDAS. And what I'm searching for here is this page. So this is essentially the DAS2 manual. What is the FTDAS2? Well, the FTDAS2 is a combo sensor. So it's not only used for security purposes. It's got a shock sensor, a glass, and a tilt sensor built into it. But it's also got a forward and rearward motion sensor, almost like a gyroscopic sensor in it, that detects whether the vehicle is moving. Why do they require this for manual transmission installs? Well, it's an extra piece of safety, which is why I believe CompuStar is the best system for manual transmission vehicles. And that's because this sensor, if it senses any motion when you're remote starting the manual transmission vehicle, it'll cut power to the starter motor instantaneously. What does that mean? That means that essentially it's impossible for the car to jump forward under remote start. Now, when you have these manual transmission mode safety sequences, which I'll talk about a little bit later in this video, it's impossible for the vehicle to remote start and jump forward anyways, because you would have gone through the safety sequence. But if anything were to have ever failed, or if anybody set reservation mode, the manual transmission safety mode, while somebody or an animal, for example, was in the vehicle, this FTDAS sensor, essentially, if something were to fail or somebody knocked the shifter into gear when it was already set up in safety mode, as soon as this sensor sensed forward motion, cuts power to the starter motor and the vehicle will not move, hopefully saving your vehicle from impacting an object or, God forbid, a person. It's essentially instantaneous power cut to the starter motor as soon as the sensor senses any sort of movement, including shaking of the vehicle upon start. It can be that sensitive. You can only use the FTDAS2 sensor with CompuStar products. It's compatible with the FT7 and the CMX series control modules. It is not compatible with any other brands of systems. So if you want the protection of the FTDAS2 sensor, you must use a CompuStar product. Now, again, I'm kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, but I want to go down to the option table and address what the customer was asking for clarity on. So if I go to the option group number 2, and I zoom in a little bit here, we can essentially see the different settings for what they call reservation mode. Reservation mode is the safety sequence that you have to activate every time you leave the vehicle in order to be able to remote start the vehicle at a later date. When you have a manual transmission vehicle, this is the only way to basically assure 100% safety, is making sure that you do these reservation mode sequences. It is a bit of a pain in the butt, but you do get used to it, and it's a requirement. So regardless of whether it's a pain in the butt, there's nothing you can do to get around it. So essentially the normal reservation mode, and I wish I was in a vehicle to show you, but essentially the normal reservation mode is like this. You pull up to a stop, you park the car, you put the vehicle in neutral, activate the e-brake. You're going to hear a click come from the CMX module under the dash. That's your indication to exit the vehicle. You open the door, you close the door, and as soon as the last door shuts, so if you had passengers in your vehicle, if their doors were the last doors, or if you're a sole occupant, as soon as that driver door shuts, the vehicle goes into reservation mode and it essentially shuts the engine down. When you are exiting the vehicle remains running, with the purpose being, if the car was not in neutral, as soon as you let your foot off the clutch, it would jump forward. But because the car is in neutral, when you're going through reservation mode, the car continues to run. And that's how it can assure that the vehicle is in neutral when you leave it, so that the next time you go to remote start it, it knows it's in neutral. The FTDAS sensor I mentioned earlier is an extra layer of protection that protects against things like you putting in a reservation mode with the window down and somebody reaching in and accidentally hitting the shifter, or like I said, somebody putting it in reservation mode with a person or an animal in the car who in turn accidentally knocks the shifter. So effectively, that explains what reservation mode is all about. Again, you must do that every single time you leave the vehicle if you want to remote start the vehicle. Here's where the issues can come in, especially if your vehicle is pushed to start. If your vehicle is pushed to start, there's no key for you to remove when you leave the vehicle. So if you have reservation mode set up so that when you activate the e-brake, that's what triggers reservation mode to turn on, that can become a problem, especially if you're going to fill up on gas or if you're going to a community mailbox, which many people have nowadays. Generally, what you're going to do in those situations, you're going to pull up to a stop, especially in the community mailbox situation. You're going to pull up to a stop to go to your mailbox. You put the e-brake on so the car doesn't roll. That activates reservation mode. You get out of the vehicle. As soon as you shut the door, vehicle shuts down and locks the doors and arms the alarm. The problem is your keys would have been in the vehicle because most people don't keep their keys in their pocket. So this is where these settings come into play. CompuStar gives you some options. So essentially, you can have it where parking brake is what triggers reservation mode, which can create the problem I just spoke about, which is accidentally activating reservation mode when you didn't want to. The next option is parking brake set plus hold the remote start button for 2.5 seconds. So if you're using an aftermarket key fob, this is my favorite setting, which is essentially you have to activate the parking brake, then you have to press and hold the remote start button for 2.5 seconds to get reservation mode to set. Why is that my favorite? Because that's an active way, not passive. It's an active way of you telling the remote start that you want to activate reservation mode. If you don't press the remote start button for 2.5 seconds, it will not go into reservation mode. That's why if you're using an aftermarket key fob, this is by far my favorite setting for triggering reservation mode. The other way is parking brake set, release, and then set again within 7 seconds. So for example, if you are running a push to start vehicle and you do not have an aftermarket key fob, this would be a way to basically turn the parking brake on, off, on, and that's what signifies to the CompuStar that you actually want it to go into reservation mode. Because obviously, if you're pulling up to a community mailbox, you're not going to put the e-brake on, off, on. You're only going to do that in the situation of you wanting to set reservation mode. So that's the configurability of CompuStar's reservation mode. If we in turn go to Fortin, I've got the programming guide for the Fortin, or the master install guide up for Fortin. And what we can look at here is the same sort of thing. So manual transmission function, manual transmission completed by door close. They have a mode 2, which is automatically activated by handbrake and foot brake. Mode 3 is manual sequence completed by locking the doors. And then mode 4 would be cancel ready mode when trunk is open. And if you look down here, they give you an explanation of how you activate ready mode on a Fortin evo-one. It's very similar. It's not as customizable as the CompuStar CMX. And a few key differences with the Fortin evo-one are as follows. So I mentioned earlier in the video that the Fortin evo-one requires a tachometer input, just like the CMX does. Here's the thing. The CMX has a hardwired tachometer input. So if you're working on an older vehicle, say pre-2000, that doesn't have a data circuit that generates a tachometer input, you could still install the CompuStar CMX on that vehicle. With Fortin, you cannot do that because the Fortin evo-one does not have an actual tachometer wire input. It generates its tach signal via CAN bus or LIN bus, and that's all through the data input. If your vehicle is older than, say, 2000, 2001, and it doesn't have a data bus driven tachometer input, the Fortin evo-one will not work for you. So that's one of the key differences. The other key difference with the Fortin evo-one, it does not have the FTDAS manual transmission safety sensor or multi-function sensor. It is only relying upon the ready mode, as they call it, or the manual transmission safety mode for its safety. That doesn't mean it's unsafe. It just means it doesn't have that extra protection like the CMX does. So those are some of the key differences. I know that that can be quite complex. Really, there's no substitution for actually having one of these in a vehicle and physically showing you, or your installer physically showing you. But hopefully this video kind of clears up some of the differences between the different reservation modes. If you ask my opinion as to which system is better for manual transmission, I would say the CompuStar is the better option, especially if you're doing car alarm with remote start. The CompuStar blows the Fortin evo-one out of the water when it comes to full security with remote start. But if you are looking to just get a basic remote start with maybe minimal security features, if even required, the evo-one is a fantastic product for those circumstances. Now, there are other remote starters out there that cover manual transmission, including ones that we carry. If you were to look on our website, you'll see that not only do we have the Fortin evo-one and the CompuStar CMX, we've also got Viper and we've got Auto Start. But I have to tell you that anybody that's got a manual transmission vehicle, it's going to be one of these two. As a heads up, iData Start does not cover manual transmission. Neither does the CompuStar DC3. And to be honest with you, a lot of remote start manufacturers out there, other than CompuStar and Fortin, are completely not supporting manual transmission anymore. And not only that, there's not that many manual transmission vehicles coming out on the market anymore anyways. So hopefully this clears up some of the confusion surrounding it. Feel free to email us, sales@lockdownsecurity.ca, if you need more clarity. If you do want a quote for a remote starter on your vehicle, feel free to email us as well, or give us a shout, 1-866-824-4118. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you could, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching.